What should I do if my I-751 is denied? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. In today's video, we're talking about the conditional residence, the I-751 petition for removal of conditions on lawful permanent residence. The I-751 is supposed to be filed within 2 years, right in that last 90 days of the 2 years from the start date of your marriage-based green card. The purpose of the 751 is to prove to USCIS that you are still in a valid marriage, that you have presented new evidence to show that you and your spouse are living together as spouses, that it is a legitimate marriage, and that you should have the conditions on your lawful permanent residence removed. That is, that you should be a full permanent resident. And sometimes people get their I-751s denied. So we wanted to talk about that in today's video. When your I-751 gets denied, you will probably be very upset. You'll be surprised. You might not have seen it coming. Sometimes USCIS denies a 751 without a notice of intent to deny. The regulations say that they are supposed to, so that might be something that you could explore if they denied your 751 without a notice beforehand that they were thinking about doing that. But in any event, we're talking about the situation where your 751 has actually been denied. You have your denial notice. Now, every now and then when a 751 is denied, it includes a referral to the immigration court. But the vast majority of the time, USCIS does not refer the couple or the individual to deportation, to the removal court, but sometimes they do. When that happens, you're going to have to find a deportation lawyer. You're going to have to defend yourself in deportation court. But what we like to do, even in those scenarios, is we're going to file a new I-751. We're going to file a stronger case. So the first thing to do is figure out, why did this case get denied? Why did USCIS not believe that this marriage was legitimate? Now, if it's just that they didn't think you submitted enough evidence, those are going to be much easier to overcome than situations where they claim there was fraud. So in the typical situation in I-751, when it gets denied, it's because the couple hasn't simply submitted enough evidence to show that the marriage is ongoing. They might have accepted the evidence that you submitted at the first time when you got your green card, but now here we are 2 years later, and they expect you to have more stuff. Now, most 751s don't involve an interview, and the reason for that is because you submit lots of evidence. So again, it has to be new evidence. So if you haven't submitted enough evidence, then they're going to deny that case. So if we were to be hired by someone who had their 751 denied, we would go into much greater detail about the relationship. We would talk to both members of the couple. We would talk to friends and family, get affidavits, file a much stronger case. And so we've had many situations where people have had their I-751s denied, and we refiled with lots of new evidence and gotten them approved. Sometimes, though, the marriage has fallen apart, and sometimes the timing of the divorce or the marriage ending doesn't coincide with the 751. So sometimes after a jointly filed 751 is filed and denied, sometimes we file an I-751 solo. That's what we call it here in the office, and that's where you're applying for the waiver of the marriage requirement for the 751. In other words, you're saying that we entered into a valid marriage, but for a variety of reasons, it just didn't work out. And so this is a situation where the individual is filing the I-751 without their U.S. citizen spouse or their LPR spouse. So when that happens, you're going to have to show even more that the marriage was legit, and you might actually be combating the U.S. citizen who's trying to deport you. So they might have sent mean letters to USCIS. They might have called USCIS. They might have said he or she only married me to get a green card, and then you're having to overcome that. But you want to have this fight at USCIS. You can raise a new 751 with the immigration judge. You can appeal the denial of your 751 in front of the immigration judge. But in my experience, the immigration judges don't want to mess with this. And if you tell them that you have filed a new 751 or that you're getting ready to file a new 751, and then you go ahead and do it, a lot of times they will wait to see what USCIS decides on the second 751. So you could defend yourself in court on the 751, but what we like to do is to take it, you have to keep that case pending, but we want to have that argument before USCIS, and that's where we really try to focus on filing that stronger case, either individually or as a joint couple. So there's no real way to appeal a denied 751. Your appeal takes place in the deportation court. That's your second chance before an immigration judge. But like I said, they're not going to have a lot of time or inclination to want to hear about the validity of your marriage. If USCIS said it wasn't valid, then they're going to probably go along with that. So you're really going to have to work hard to convince the immigration judge or a new immigration officer that your marriage is legit. We hope you found this message helpful. We hope that your 751 gets approved, but if yours got denied and you need help finding a new one, and you want to hire our firm or you're thinking about working with us, give us a call at 314-961-8200. Email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Be sure to join us in our Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. We'd love to have you join us there. It's a free Facebook group with thousands of members talking about the immigration process. We also are on TikTok. You can follow us there at Immigration Hacking. And then, of course, this YouTube channel, you can subscribe to it. Whenever we make a new video, you'll be the first to know. And also, you'll be alerted when we go live on our Immigration Answer Show, which is a show that I do 3 or 4 times a week, just trying to answer as many immigration law related questions as possible. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.